Yeah, welcome guys. Mm, I'm back again with another retouching tutorial, and today I'll I'll do it a bit different from what you already know, or a bit different from what we did last. Yeah, and this is our image. I already did slides adjustments in the camera row. Sorry, and yeah, here we go. Let me zoom it a bit. So uh, first, note first, like always, whenever working on any image, you should always duplicate your layer, your background layer, sorry. Yeah, so that you can, yeah, whenever you make any mistake, you can always you don't lose your original image. And with this, you should duplicate we should duplicate the image twice, the background layer twice. So that's by clicking on Control J twice or Command J twice if you use using a Mac. Yeah, so layer 1, you can name it texture, or sorry, the layer 1, you can name it low frequency or color. So low frequency, and the layer 1 copy, you can name it texture or higher frequency. Then you group it. You click on high frequency or low, depending on just any, then press Control or Command, press on the other layer, and then you group them. Control G. Now you have your group, so you double click and name it frequency separation. There we go. You open your group, disable your high frequency layer. You go to your lower frequency here, and then go to filter. Now this is what I was talking about. Like normally we go to filter, then we go to blur, and then Gaussian blur. But today I don't want us to use the normal method that we always use. So you go to filter. Today we go to noise, and then dust and scratches, just like I said in the beginning. Yeah, here we go. So the radius, the radius, you'll always choose a radius depending on your image, because images are so differently. So depending on the sharpness of your image, yeah, so your image is what will determine the radius that you'll use. So for this matter, as for me, I think I'll use 6. Yeah, 6 is good for me. Then these other, leave them at 0. So okay, so enable your high frequency now, and then click on your high frequency, go to image, then apply image. The source is your image now, your original image. Then layer, you should pick low frequency. Channel RGB, like always. Blending should be subtract. And why subtract? Because we're trying to subtract the textures from the color, or the colors from the texture. That's why we use subtract. Actually, okay, sorry. What you're trying to do, the reason as to why we're choosing subtract and not any other blending option, is because we are trying to subtract. This is why we chose the low frequency, which I already said it contains what? It contains the color. So we're trying to separate the color and the texture. I hope you're getting it. The scale should be 2, offset 128. So you click OK, and then now you come here, then go to linear light, and you're good to go. So before you do anything else, I want us to even out the skin tones in this image. So you need to create a black and white layer. So you click on this icon here, the third effects, and then these yeah, the fill or the fill or adjustment layers here. So you go to black and white, you push it to the to your left just a bit. I think that's fine. When you're done, come to your low frequency. Now click on your low frequency, go to your tools, choose your choose your mixer brush here. So your mixer brush setting should always be, it should be a clean brush, and then you click on this second icon. I don't know if it's enabling or disabling, but yeah, this should be checked. Wetness should be 9, load of 75, mix 90, flow at 100, and then you're good to go. So what you're doing here, first, you should never should you like brush the image just like, no, you should brush your image like separately, highlight separate, shadow separate, and midtone separate. Never should you make a mistake of mixing, because you definitely won't get the best results. Yeah, so let's go just slowly, we're not in a rush. Yeah, you just do it separately, the highlights separately, shadows separately, and mid zones. Slowly, and you do it according to the shape of your model's face. Yeah, at least that should be the order. You just don't do it like someone who doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, you do it according to the shape of the face. Come here. Just be keen until you're done with your image, and this applies only on the skin. Don't do it anywhere else. I think we are almost there. I think you're almost there. Let me disable the black and white layer and see what we have. Wow. So this is the before, after, before, after. I think you can notice the difference before, after. After we're done with evening out the skin tones, now yeah, uh, yeah, let me enable the black and white layer, and now I want us to 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 remove the blemishes. Yeah, so I normally like using the clone stamp tool. Yeah, and the size of your clone stamp tool should always be slightly bigger than your the 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 blemish you want to remove or the spot you want to clean. Yeah, so this you click on the high frequency, because the high frequency is what contains the texture, and the spots or the blemishes you want to remove are part of the texture. So that's why you have to click on the high frequency which contains the textures. Yeah, so you you press your alt and then you right click on your mouse. You're doing that, actually you're doing that to sample, and then you click on your on the blemish like this one now here. And then you alt click, do the same. You do that repeatedly until you're done. I think I'm almost done. There's this one here. I think it's okay. Let me disable the black and white layer so that you can see it well. I think you're done. I think it's okay. I think you're done with blemish removal. So the next thing, I think you're done with the high frequency now. So get back to your low frequency layer, which contains the, I'll always remind you, which contains the color. Now go pick your lasso tool here, and then you now draw using a lasso tool according to the shape of the face. Like, yeah, just slowly and keenly. Don't be in a rush. Like, yeah, just slowly. After you're done, go to your filter. Now blur, Gaussian blur. The first time we went to noise and then dust, but the second time now you go to blur and then Gaussian blur. So if you can remember, I used the radius of 6. So the best way to know the radius to use, the number you used, the first radius you used, you should multiply it at least by 3. So I used 6. So 6 when you multiply 6 by 3, you'll have 18. Yeah, so 18 is, yeah, fine. And I forgot to tell you, while using a lasso tool, your feather should always be at least from 20 to 22. 20, 22. Yeah, so we're done. Just do it slowly and according to the shape of the face. You do it repeatedly until you're done with your image. Now you don't have to always go to blur, Gaussian blur again, and then no. After you when you did the first time, now the shortcuts are here: Alt plus Control plus F. Yeah. You come to the nose. Now, here to the nose, when you use the radius, when I use the radius I was using before, the 18 one, it will flatten the nose, and you know the nose is always not flat. So what you do, you at least come to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. At least reduce the radius at least to something like 10 is fine. Yeah, 10 is okay. I think we're done with the face. Now let's come here. Filter, blur. Let's get back to the 18 that we were using earlier. Yeah, okay. Just slowly. I know it's a tiring process, but at the end of the day you need to achieve some good results, so you just have to be patient and be careful. I think we're done. For the hands, as for me, I don't think there's much you should do with the hands. Yeah, so this is our image. We're done with it. So let me zoom it out. Yeah, this is what we have now. So after we're done with all this, we now want to make the makeup pop, the brows, the eyeshadow, the lips, the lipstick. Yeah, so with this I normally use the actions, and maybe I'll put the link to the to in the, the description, sorry. Yeah, so these are the actions I normally use. So let's start with whitening the eyes. Yeah, so you just click on the white and teeth, whiten the eye and teeth. So you click on it, come pick your brush, just the normal brush tool, the opacity 100. Yeah, so then you brush in the eye keenly, just slowly. I think you can see the difference. Yeah, this is the before, after, before, after. So the next should be let's darken the eyebrows. So before, after, before, after. Now let's make the eyeshadows pop. Let's make the brush a bit bigger. Then we brush on the eye, the eyeshadow. Before, after, before, after. Now the lips. Before, after, before, after. I hope you're seeing some difference. Yeah, I think we're done with that. And the next thing you're going to do is dodge and burn. Yeah, so dodge and burn. So you should click to the adjustment. Sorry, I earlier called it adjustment, the blending options. Sorry, these are adjustments here. Blending options are these ones. So the adjustments here, and then go to curves, and then just raise your curves just a bit to brighten it. I think that's fine. And then invert it back to normal. That's fine. Then name it dodge. Go back to the adjustments, curves. Now this time round you just bring it down a bit. I think that's fine. Invert it back to normal. Then name this burn. Group them. Select button, Control G. Name your group dodge and burn. Now enable your black and white layer to at least make you see where you need to dodge and where to burn. Yeah, so let's start with burning. So with dodge and burn, here you burn you dodge the highlights and burn the shadows. You dodge the highlights, you burn the shadows. Yeah, so you pick a brush, and my opacity I normally put it at around 50%, 40, 50, 40. So I think let me use 40% for this case. Make your brush a bit bigger. That's by pressing on Alt right click and move it to the right or left to make it smaller. Then now dodge the highlights here. We have some highlights here again, have some here, make it smaller. We have here on the lips. Just anywhere you see some highlights, you burn. Here on the nose, on the collarbone here, before, after, before, after. I think you can see some difference. Yeah. Yeah. So we go to burn now. So you burn the shadows just like I said earlier. So let's start here with the nose. Yeah, and then the cheeks. Before, after, before, after. Before, after, before, after. Let me disable the black and white layer and see what we already have. Yeah, I think I like it that way. So I think you can see before, after, before, after. Yeah, I think I like it that way. So let me zoom it out. And now let's do a bit of color grading. And because of time, what I normally use there, so you come to the adjustments here, and then there is selective color here. So I normally use the selective color for color grading, but because of time, I think I'll just have to use my selective color preset that I already made earlier. Color grading is another tutorial that I'll do soon, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so the main thing today was about retouching. Yeah, so at least if you've learned something about, learning is a continuous process, so you learn slowly by slowly. So we don't have to do one thing, like we don't have to do everything once, like we'll do it slowly. So for today, let me use the selective color preset that I made earlier. Yeah, you just click to load selective color, and then it will bring you to where you saved it automatically. So yeah, these three are the presets that I made earlier. So yeah, so let me pick this one, then you click on it and then load. I think you can see the effect. I think you can see the effect before, after, before, after. Yeah, let me reduce it a bit to around 90%. Yeah, so before, after, before, after. So let me crop the image a bit again. And I think I earlier did a tutorial on how you crop your images properly. So I think if you've not seen it, just check it out. So yeah, let me crop it a bit again. think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Then enter. I think we've done. I'm done. So yeah. So I don't think there's something I've forgotten to do. And if there's something I've forgotten to do, I bet it was not that necessary. Yeah. So we're done. And so the next thing is just saving your work, and you're good to go. So I think you've learned something, and I would really request that you, whatever you want me to do next, the tutorial what you want me to do next, just do it in the comment section. Yeah. So so let me just save the image. So you go to file, export, and then save for web. This is the method I normally use. You save for web. I let it load. Yeah, and then JPEG, you should check on optimize, should be checked. And then the second option, the third option should also be checked. Pick the monitor color, sorry. If you have any copyright, you can enter them here. Then image size, then quality should be by cubic sorry, by cubic sharper. Then after done, we're good to go. And then you just save it.